Hey guys, so today we are gonna be reacting to a zackdfilms video. The reason why I'm reacting to this, I just want to see what this guy uploads nowadays. Okay, I probably don't watch it that much.
Him to the hospital. When doctors checked his phone for an emergency contact, they called 17 people, thinking they were his family. Minutes later, a woman arrived. Then another came in behind her, and another, and another. Soon, the waiting room was full. 17 women, all insisting they were his.
I just ruined this guy's whole career, bro. You see that guy, you're gonna be like, bro, tell me down to bro.
Girlfriend, but they soon realized they had all been dating the same man. Some were giving him money, and one was already planning their wedding, all believing they were his only partner. Everything he had been hiding for years unraveled in a Coco sat with her caretaker, slowly shaping her hands into
coconut
signs, learning words. Then one day, she signed something new. She wanted a cat. So they brought her a tiny gray kitten.
How do they even know, bro? Don't they know, like, their hunt?
The moment she saw him, she held him gently to her chest, cradling him like a baby. And using sign language, she named him All Ball.
Oh, what is names of these films with this guy, this gorilla is making the cat look, bro. All balls just maybe kitten or something.
She brushed his fur, carried him around her room, and signed over and over, Coco Love Ball. But one morning, the kitten slipped outside and it was hit by a car. When they broke the news to the gorilla, she mourned it with loud wails. And when they asked her about the cat later, she only signed one single word: cry. Coco sat with her caretaker, slowly.
Boost your website in it.
Vinyl pellets are melted down into a puck before being placed between two metal stampers. These have tiny grooves matching the music. Vinyl pellets are melted down into a puck before being placed between two metal stampers. These have tiny grooves matching the music, and when they press down, the vinyl is permanently printed on both sides. The edges are neatly trimmed, creating a perfectly round record. And when a needle moves along the grooves, it picks up the vibrations, turning them back into music through your speakers. Vinyl pellets are. He pulled the grate off the vent, and his baby brother crawled straight in. He dropped 8 feet down the hole before getting stuck at the bottom. Now, their mom was in the other room and had no idea what happened until the toddler came in yelling, "Baby in."
Baby in, baby in. Baby is in.
He showed her the open vent, and she realized her baby was inside. Rescuers tried to reach.
Bro, is she even? The baby is not even crying. Which kind of baby is that?
Him, but he was in too deep, so an officer crawled under the house, pushing the baby up the shaft and back into his mother's arms. And after that, she screwed the
Why is it even yet screwed yet? Bro.
grate shut. If you crack an egg on the rim of a pan, the shell can cave inward and splinter deep inside, and once they fall into the egg white, you would have to pick out every tiny piece of shell. But if you crack it on a flat surface...
Hell no, that guy is lying. When I crack it on a flat surface, it will just break off. Oh, pouring it all.
The pressure spreads out evenly. The membrane stays intact underneath the shell, holding the cracks in place. And your thumbs slip into the crack and open it without pushing the shell inside. But if you just drop the egg straight down for a few inches, the force spreads across the whole shell at once, making a perfect split with almost no fragments.
Okay.
He climbed onto the table by the railing, and his friends pulled him back down. And when he did it again, people just filmed him as he jumped overboard. You see, he was at his graduation party when he was given the dare. But after someone threw him a lifesaver, he swam away, disappearing into the ocean. Now, the ship was in an area usually filled with aggressive sharks. And when the video of him jumping was posted online, people started to notice a dark, blurry shape near him. The crew searched for 2 days, but he was never found. A polygon has straight lines, connected together by side. They placed the bodies in the water, with their arms tucked in and knees pulled close. Then they placed long wooden stakes around each of them to pin them to the bottom of the bag. This was so the water didn't push them back to the surface, which prevented animals from eating them. Once the bodies settled, a thick layer of dead plants sealed them in like a lid, blocking out air and light and preventing the bodies from decaying. But 8,000 years later,
8,000? That was not even existing.
Construction crew hit a human skull. Archaeologists arrived and uncovered 168 burials. They were so well preserved that their stomachs still held their last meals. Their skulls still held chunks of their brain, their bones were still wrapped in burial cloth, and their bodies kept the curled shape they were buried in 8,000 years ago. They placed the bodies in the water. He let his son steer the plane, even though there were 75 people on board. But the boy pushed hard on the controls, which turned off the autopilot. And even though a warning light flashed, the pilot didn't see it. Suddenly, the boy pushed the controls again, sending the plane into a nosedive. The pilot took over and managed to pull the plane up, but it climbed too steep, which caused the engine to stall. And without power, the plane plummeted to the ground, killing every single person on board. He let his son steer the plane. He woke up inside the morgue after accidentally being declared dead. You see, he had gotten into a car crash with his fiancée. Now, she survived the crash, but the man's injuries were so severe that paramedics...
That's small injury, and you're saying that's too severe. Nah, that ain't too good. Only like skin is out. What's the problem with that? That's actually easy to repair.
Medics pronounced him dead. He was put into a freezer drawer for 2 days, but he woke up and started screaming. Workers heard him and rushed to pull him out, and he was finally allowed to go home to his fiancée. But when she saw him, she was terrified, convinced he was a zombie, so she refused to take him back. He woke up in They would race through the streets where children played, injuring some and killing others.
It's a book, not a sidewalk. Go to the sidewalk.
See, before cars were common, the streets were safe public areas. But as cars got more popular, it was suddenly dangerous to walk on the roads. Soon, people started to protest, demanding that the engines be limited to just 25 miles per hour. But instead, the motor industry blamed pedestrians. They took the word J, which basically meant hillbilly, and invented the word jaywalker to insult pedestrians. A Santa was
What's Jimmy?
even paid to yell it at people crossing the street, spreading the new term. And in one parade, a clown pretended to jaywalk before getting hit by a car in slow motion, until it finally became illegal to cross the street wherever you wanted. They would race. The robber fired the gun directly towards the man's hip, but he had his phone in his pocket, protected inside a Hulk case. The bullet slammed into the phone, the screen shattered instantly, but the phone and case absorbed the shot, stopping it before going through the back of the phone. So even though the case didn't protect the phone, it kept the bullet from breaking the phone.
There's some stuff I have to research.
The robber fired the gun. The mirror mirrors were attached, and when sunlight hit, it bounced down onto enemy ships. Now, legends say this heat caused them to ignite, destroying the enemy with only sunlight. But when modern scientists tested it, they discovered they would need dozens of mirrors for it to work. The ship would need to stay still for 10 minutes for the wood to heat up enough to catch fire. Flaming arrows would have been much easier, meaning the mirrors were probably better at blinding crews than actually torching. The mirrors were, if the dog sucked up water like a human, the water would just fall right out of its mouth.
What do you mean?
And this is because dogs can't close their cheeks all the way. Instead, its tongue shoots down and bends backwards before being pulled back up. And the force of the impact and the curve of the tongue makes a splash, pulling the water into a rising column.
Okay, bye.